I've been waiting to cover this for a long time coming. What are we going to talk about? My time being an unload at motherfucking UPS. Let's get started. UPS. Holy shit. Holy shit, man. This is already starting to be similar to fucking like Dame Buzzers, but possibly worse in some areas. Like, I can't say overall worse because this pays better. It's like my best paying job, which isn't good. Like I pretty much get like $250 a week, but let's get into it. The bullshit with working at UPS. Again, like there's so much to fucking go over. Oh god. Okay. where to start? I'll talk about my first time being a unloader. Yes, my first time, because there's some significant differences between how I am as an unloader now versus back then, like when I was first working up there. Okay. And then like I'm gonna bring up like a major incident. Well, I have a few incidences. So like, okay, first of all, when it comes to coming into the building, you had to go through this fucking this like checking area. There's like this small checking building. Like they've been a lot more lenient than my first time working there. Like these days I've been just putting my wallet and my water jug just on this little bench and go through the freaking scanner. Now I don't know what it is, but with this like with my first time working there, but like the security guys, they were a lot more strict. Like they wanted to empty out your pockets all the fucking time. Like feels like they worked at a airport before, because like I get the same vibe from like the airport. Then like later on during my first time working there, I used to have my boots, and like they were steel toe as well, so I had to throw those up as well. Like amounted to like a whole minute of like checking, opposed to like now, which is like probably like 20 seconds. Well, if that, more like 10 seconds, honestly. Anyway, so when it comes to like the parking though, like the parking area, maybe it might be massive, but like those areas get filled up fast. Like sometimes even half the time 45 minutes early. Like I've been trying to like just stick to like 45 minutes early so I can get like a good spot. I'll be just like barely even a minute away from the building, but if I come even like 10 minutes later than that, like I'm always at the very fucking back. And like the walk from back there to like that check-in area, that's easily 3 minutes of like full on walking. So after you get through the check-in area or whatever, you have to do even more walking, which is like 5 to 3 more minutes of just number walking to get to the actual building. Then even in the building, more walking. That's like probably 3 to 2 more minutes. Like it's not that long. You like to really time everything down so you can get to work on time, basically. That can be easily like 12 minutes down the drain from where you like park to get to the area, and then out of the area to where you parked. So like that's a bit of a pain there. It's quite a pain. It's definitely taking me like a while to get used to at first. I can imagine the same thing for everyone else if they're not one of the walkers. Anyway, so and then oh my god, and then like when it comes to like your first days, oh my god, man, it is so. Like, I get it. Like, there's, like, a lot of things that you do need to learn as a unloader, so you gotta do the job. But, like, dude, like, I'm just there sitting on my fucking ass, freezing my ass off. which I'm grateful for later when you actually work. Cause like every time I fucking come in, I get sweaty as hell, dude. Like it is no joke. I feel like I have slugs on my fucking back whenever I actually work in those trailers. So anyway, so like again, first days, like it's like 3 or 2 hours of you just sitting on your ass listening to this long ass lecture about what to do and what not to do. Um, and like you like to do like a lot of like computer work. I don't think it was nearly as much, but yeah, this time when I reapplied and came back to working at UPS and again, like it was a lot more computer work, like drastically more. Like that's like easily 2 hours there. I mean being on the computer, applying and shit, and then like they had to give me this like assessment or whatever, which is they asked me it's pretty redundant, especially if you're gonna do like a lot of like I guess class work, and then like you had to do this like a lot of studying for like the rhetoric or like the it's basically 10 things that you had to like memorize from like what to do with jams to their solutions, like it's that sort of shit, or like how they call it, the cool solutions, whatever. If I actually got the questions right in front of me, I can like answer no problem. It's just that my mind's getting all fuzzy because I'm trying to remember other shit. And then like they do have this thing about not having like not bringing your phone in, like phones aren't allowed. But like a lot of the times, like I see people on their phones anyway. I haven't been doing that lately because like my phone's been acting up on me. But anyways, like I'm again like some of the small stuff out of the way. All right, because man, like I'm sure like it's such a headache. I don't even know where. Again, I don't know where to fucking start. Okay, I'll just talk about my first experiences here. So like when it comes to like me actually getting the work down, they I had to like go through like all these trailers. Like the supervisor directs me which trailer to like go to. And we had this big thing with irregs, right? Now like these irregs can range from stuff that's over 70 pounds, or like really long ass packages, or like dangerous shit, like stuff that can actually explode, that are poisonous, that sort of shit, basically. Now I don't deal with those a lot of the times, like the flammable, like all this like other harmful shit for packages, like a good, like they'll probably come up like 10% at the time, honestly. But okay. Now, when it comes to what they taught me um in the classroom or whatever, they didn't tell me just how messy these like trailers will get. Cause sometimes like it was like it's just tedious. Like you like to like do like a lot of small shit, but really over 70% of the time, it's you dealing with all these big ass packages. At least for my area, I can't speak the same for like everywhere else, because it's more than likely not gonna be like that. But all right, I used to work at a night shift. Now I think, but I believe those guys they actually have to go into the smaller what do they call it? I forgot what they call it exactly, but basically these like trailers come in inside this like big area that's inside the building, and have like separate areas. Like it's hard to explain, but all right. Basically, like a truck can pull in like three of these big areas. They can, well not big, relatively small areas. They had to like pull boxes out of. Now it gets pretty hectic when okay, you have to do that right, but it gets a little hectic when like the belt's right there, like right in front of the shit. But yeah, it gets a little problematic if I had to deal with like a shit ton of like egregs. Like I remember one time I had to like take out like all these like egregs that were like fucking. It was a bunch of them that were like fucking 150 or some shit. Like I'm not even joking. And then like I saw this one ereg that was like it looked like a candy bar, but it was fucking 50 pounds. Like yeah, that doesn't sound much of a problem, but it was actually hard as hell to pick up. To let you just get off the ground, not even just lifting, but get off the ground. Like that was the hardest part there. So like I had to use like my key to try to make it slide on to have it slide under it or some shit. I had to do like weird shit to even pick it up. It was no joke. And we kind of have like a weird thing when it comes to like bagged packages. I believe when I was first working there, like I could just dump them onto the belt, which is pretty problematic too because like the belt isn't wide enough to handle that much of like bad packages. If the bags are actually full of packages, where it looks like it's about to like burst, like that's like you're looking at like 30 in there, like 30 boxes or so. It's very likely though they'll actually just spill over on the side. Like I know, I know. Like a lot of this sounds like I'm bitching for the sake of bitching, but this stuff stacks, especially if you're doing them back to back. Back to back, as in like you're doing this like 3 hours straight. Then maybe you'll get a break, and I mean really maybe. And then they get kind of stingy with breaks. Like break itself is like 10 minutes, right? But they actually count the time wherever you walk to the break room or like the restroom these days. Like because like when it goes like the break room, yeah, like as a vending machine or whatever. But if they actually took the tables out, which was like a level hard thing to like for me to get used to with this whole like lockdown thing. Like they've been staying haven't had have like the tables out, so like you can't sit in there. Like you're not even like allowed to like take a break in there. So like, you had to like use like the break time to take a break like somewhere else, right? So like at first I was just chilling on the stairs when it comes to a lot of my breaks, but these days I've been just using like the bathroom because like thankfully we do have a stool in there. Well, like, not a stool, but more like a bench. Sorry. So like that's what breaks like. And they want you to be back. Like they want you to like, get out of break and be in the work area by the 10th minute. Like they actually made that clear to me when I worked in the small store. I'll get to that later. But yeah, over there in that area, like yeah, like it gets really stuffy in there too. Very similar to like the trailers, but what I really don't like is like how like they have like doors, like these like sliding doors, but like the area for it is actually pretty narrow, to where like you have this I don't know what the fuck they call it, but you have this roller beam or whatever. Basically, like you can extend it out and like you can push like boxes on like this like roller so we can get to the belt. Which yeah, it barely fits in there through this like opening here. And then like I wish it can also extend out more. Well, not extend out more. Like it's basically you just like lowering it down, and like wherever the length it has there, like that's all it like give you there. Let's say it's like problematic because like I wish it could have like I wish it can have like what do you call it, like walls or something on the side, so like boxes don't slip the fuck off or whatever. Like just feel like I'm missing like a lot of details. Let me think. Which, by the way, like up to like 15 trailers kind of come in, but usually we deal with half of that. These belts are like they're either like a little faulty or like some guys like solving like a problem with the belt because like they stop pretty often, like a little more often than one would think. Which can be pretty problematic, especially problematic if, you know, say there was a big situation, like even this big bell gets like jammed or whatever, and it can take a person up to like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, even 20 minutes, so like it can easily amount to like a lot of like fucking waiting, and like the wait is like no joke either. So you had to kind of watch like the belt like that. Which yeah, like I'm telling you now, like a lot of the guys that work there really don't want to do the work. So like you have to step up for them so you can get the work done. Again, I can't speak for every place, but over here it really feels like that. And now the instances, I actually had okay, so the floor is actually gated. Like it's actually elevated up so you can reach these like areas here. Now like with this gated flooring, like there can actually be like a space between this flooring and like the actual anyways, like there's like a space between the flooring and like the packages that and like this like place that the packages can like come from. I've actually had a time no fuck that. I actually had 2 times where I fell between there and my leg was stuck as hell, and you know no one saw me, you know, fall like this. Like my leg freaking dipped. Like if I was falling, I was like whoa holy shit. And like my freaking leg got fucked up kinda from that fall. I actually had to like you know slap some sense back into my leg because like my freaking leg would just, you know, act like that. It was pretty nuts. And then like I had another time like that where the flooring was like I was on the other side, like the metal gate flooring is really it's pretty much in the middle area, but overall on the side, like the very side, like the very left side, like that's like concrete flooring. I actually fell between there before too. Now when it comes like the space like that, you actually have to use if there's like a significant like space like where you can fall, you're actually supposed to use these yellow pads, which pretty much like which are meant to like cover like the space between that floor and like this like sub trailer thing or whatever. Again, like it's really weird to explain. I keep forgetting what the fuck they fucking called it. But yeah, like since I work in Twilight, I don't deal with that sort of shit. Like, that's why I said way earlier that these are for like the night people. The wish was like sub trailers or whatever could actually have like things extending out of it. So I don't have to like go and like get this like pad or whatever to cover that sort of space. And then like bags too. Like bags are a pretty significant struggle to put on these like to like get out of these like trailers, these sub trailers too. Especially like sometimes like these can have like just full of bags. Oh yeah, so okay, like I remember now. So like when we get done with let the main work and like getting all the packages out of these like sub trailers or whatever, and like we usually have like a lot of I think like smalls. Smalls are pretty much like, you know, really small packages, like say like not necessarily like they're 3 inch, but like Uh, they can kind of like depend like the usually if the packages are like really like skinny and like flimsy, yeah, that's considered like a small. So like we just like throw those like out of the trailers like that. For these trailers and like the main trailers, I guess. Which those we use totes for. We pretty much put them. I forgot what they. I forgot what we did with them exactly. I think we just leave them there, like just leave them in the totes, and like that's fine. And then like we usually end up needing to like get like a lot of totes too, because like all these like sub trailers. I think there's and then like on the side too, there's actually more normal looking trailers that come in over there. So I believe can be up to like 4 or 5. I feel more like 6. Now what I don't like about that area too is that it's actually really narrow over there, to where it's a little space to like work with, and like those like rollers I was talking about. Like a lot of the shit is like metallic, so like you have to like really be careful with your with where your footing is, and like just where the fuck you are at like all times, because like it's really easy for you to like hit one of these with like your like leg or your hip or even like your arm. So like that's why they say all the time too, like don't run, like you need to make sure that you're walking all the time. But yeah, like that kind of sucks too. Just make this clear too. I don't deal with this sort of shit. I'm just going from like memory here from what I did like all the time over there. First time working. After we're done with like all these irregs out, we had to put them on these like orange carts, and like they're pretty large, yeah. But like, these can be easily filled up if we have like a lot of like e-rate packages, which are again like these can be over like 70 or 100 pounds. A lot of the times like they end up being over 100 pounds. So like we had to like fit them on these like carts and shit. I think usually we have like 3. Like we end up using like 3 or so carts. Like sometimes 5 if we get really stocked up. So yeah, don't be surprised if that happens if you end up working there like that. I don't deal with carts anymore these days though, but it's like one of the things I had to deal with. Now the cart, now like the carts, I had a major problem with the carts. They have like zero turning. Like they turn like complete shit. I'm not even fucking joking. Like they make bikes look good. And like don't get me wrong. Like a normal bike has like good handling, but these cars they have like zero handling. Like they're on wheels too. So I'm just like, people like we. And then like you can try to use like these like sidebars that can extend out of like under it, but anyways, like when you try to turn with them, like you had to use as little momentum as possible so you can actually turn. If you go even 7 miles an hour, 5 miles an hour, you'll have zero control when you're trying to turn. I'm not even fucking joking. It is that hard to like turn with these things. And like there's like a lot of like sharp turning when it comes to these, because what you're trying to do is pull or like push them out, really pushing, because like they keep telling us like push everything. Trying to push them out to this like ereg belt, which is kind of on the other side, but I had to go through like these steel beams. Like I don't know what it is too. Which okay, like sure. Like the facility, it has like a lot of belts going. Like the belts are fucking everywhere, just right above people's heads. So yeah, I can see where the beams can come in, but still, like they're like a bitch to like get around and make sure you're not hitting any of them. I just wish there was like a actual place where you can actually push these like carts through. That would make a lot more sense than trying to deal with beams. Now, thankfully, no one's actually broken these support beams with the card, because like the card's metal too. Which yeah, that's another thing I kind of have a problem with. Like the card, basically like a big ass rectangle that's made of metal. You can easily hurt yourself on this thing. They could give it like soft corners, or like have like padding on it, something, so people don't it won't seem like they'll get fucked up by it. Which I have a story for that. That happened to me when it comes to even that. I'll get to it later. So mainly, like, you'll carry all these like these irregs on like off the card, put it on the irreg belt. Like a guy will help you. Uh, you'll usually be there for like a good 5 minutes maybe before you get like another card and do the same shit. And then you'll go into the unloading area. Now, when it comes to like the unloading area, it's like, again, like the supervisor directs you to like the trailer. Let's see. Now sometimes they'll give you like a guy to like work with you, or like a guy's already there working in the trailer. All right. And then like vice versa, you can like work in the trailer, and like a guy will suddenly come in on you. Now, sometimes too, you're getting like a long ass trailer, and you're in there by yourself. Even if it looks like, even if it looks hard, sometimes like you'll just be there on your own, like for the whole trailer. Probably most of the time. Okay, I'll say like, okay, sometimes too, like trailers will have like only irregs trailers. Now, like, that didn't happen much. Like, that didn't happen much when I was first working. But later on, no, like when I was working, here like the second time, like the second time working at UPS, right? They've been just like the amount of just irreg trailers have been like doubled or some shit. Because I never dealt with as many just irreg trailers. Shit, that's like 100, like over like 120, 150s or some shit. And then like the heaviest I had to like lift was like 200. And like it was this like awkward square metallic thing, but that was more like when I was just like, basically I was like the guy that pulled the e-regs off. Like put it on this like belt for like outbound, which I'll get to outbound later. But yeah, unloaders, like, like we're like the inbound people. Now the roller is decently long. It's just that sometimes you'll have it filled up, and if it's already filled up, well, you might as well empty it yourself. But like most of the time they want you to just get to all that stuff later. When I actually worked there at first, we had like a few sweepers, or like people that actually pulled the e-regs out of the trailers. We don't get that this time when I'm working there. It might have been like the supervisor I was with that thought of that, but alright. Alright, then like we do have like unload stands, so we can get to packages that are at the very top of the trailer. So like we had to be, if we use like unload stands, we had to be very aware of like where the fuck they are, because it's actually easy for first of all, we extend this like belt out so we can go all the way into the trailer. Well, like, it's as far as the light as we can, like, anyway. However, like the belt itself looks a bit weird. Like you figure it'd be just like a long and like I guess flatter thing like they're dealing with. But with how it was designed, actually has like grooves at the bottom. and like those extend out too. This belt can like not only extend outward, but it can also go up and down, right? Now, what can easily happen is that like a person can actually have a the like unload stand under this thing, and it can actually and the belt itself, if it's lowered, enough on it, it can actually start crushing the unload stand. So again, we had to like really make sure like where the fuck it is, or else that's one unload stand like, down the drain. Now, like I haven't gotten yelled at or anything for having like crushed unload stand, because I've been doing like a really good job with where where the fuck it is. But like I can imagine them again, just pretty pissed off at me. Uh, if that does happen, granted, we have like a good, I say we have like 20 of these or something. And then like too, yeah, it can easily crush someone, because again, like it's all metallic. And then when it comes to like taking packages out of the trailers, like it gets really specific. I'm not gonna lie with what your problems are gonna be with it. Like sometimes boxes can get crushed. Other times, like rare occasion, like you'll deal with like wet packages or like open packages. Or these days, you'll be dealing with like a lot of like wrapped up packages. Now, like that should never came up for me practically when I was first working there. But these days, like there's yet to been a day to where I just don't deal with wrapped up packages, so I had to like cut through them shits. So I actually get to the actual boxes and put them on the belt. So yeah, most of the trailers get pretty samey when I was working there at first. Now, like yeah, like now I guess I wasn't catching up right, or like they saw me have like a bad day or two, because I've been really doing well with well, I wasn't doing well with what I was eating back then. So after them seeing that I really wasn't looking good, and I was really being really slow, they actually shift me over to, like they call it PD1, but yeah, outbound. Like I was so I was dealing with like a lot of like irregs, and put them on like the irreg belt for like outbound. Now the outbound people, like okay, like this is after say like 6 months after working as a unloader. Aside from those times where I was actually doing like I was getting sluggish, I was actually doing like a really good job as a unloader. Like I've yet to get really injured. So like outbound, like those guys, like they actually load up the trailers to either they haven't actually made it clear what of like why they like stack up all these packages in the trailers. Then also yeah, like when it comes to like working any day, like you'll usually be dealing with like thousands of like packages. So again, so like yeah, it's really easy what the fuck. It's really important for you to actually pace yourself. Like that's really important, because like you don't want to be exhausted at like any point. Don't rush things. Now everything is pretty much fine, aside from times where packages can just come in all of a sudden on like a truck, and all that shit needs to be stacked up. But it usually happens during like the holiday, so it's not much of a problem. Anyways, like they do tend to have me help with that shit. Sometimes, well yeah, fuck it. Like okay, so like they actually want me to like grab the package and actually take it off the belt so we can go to like a trailer, right? There's actually one time where like my hand actually bumped into like a grate, which is pretty much like So I have to explain how the area is, but alright. I wasn't sure of my hand placement basically. And yeah, like the freaking back of my hand just like it really hit like this grade that's apparently like just right next to like the path that I'm walking down. And that really flooded my hand. Like I think some of the skin was peeling off. And I didn't ask for a band-aid or anything. Surprisingly, I wish I did. What would have really helped? Because like yeah, like that took about a few days to recover. Like since I deal with so many heavy packages, sometimes if I don't get good grip on it, it'll sometimes fuck up my watch, like whatever watch I'm wearing. Like I think I'm on my fourth or third watch right now, and like with the I guess second watch, I tried to take it to like a watch hospital. Yes, like those exist in certain areas. Like my y'all's first time hearing about that, but yeah. And then yeah, sometimes too, if we really don't get any heavy irregs or whatever, they'll actually have me um help stack up the boxes into the trailers. There's that, and then dealing with whatever was coming down this like chute, which would be my usual area, like as the person that takes care of like irregs. And this area can get loaded. Like I'm not even joking. Like we're just talking like a chute and a bench. And did I scan shit in? I think I did scan shit in. Like either me or like this like other person that works in this area here. Then like sometimes too, like I actually had to throw shit over like this like belt so you actually get to this other belt that's a good feet or two over next to this belt. Like it's a pretty weird setup. Like this other belt goes into the opposite direction, so like, it goes backwards, and like the main belt goes forward. So all right, like again, it gets really specific, and like stuff can get easily hard to follow. I know, like it's a lot of explaining. I know. So basically, I was really good with handling stuff that was over like 100, 120, 140, stuff like that. Put them on the belt and shit. Now, all that stuff was good until this one incident happened that fucked everything up. Okay, before I tell y'all about this, around this time, I was also looking for more hours. Again, I can't speak for every place on this, but they got stingy as hell when it comes to getting extra hours. And I asked one supervisor like, "Hey, could I come in to help you guys out?" They didn't tell me that I couldn't do that whenever, so that's why I tried anyway. And he was like, "No, like you can go home. We actually have everything." And I was like, "Okay." Like stuff that makes me aware about when I can actually like come in. I think there was another time too where someone told me that I could come in for like a double shift basically, and they like I still got turned away. So like just be really like aware of that if you actually want extra hours. I guess it's more like a lot reliable when someone comes up to you and is like, "Hey, do you want to work a double shift today?" Now, whenever ironically, when they ask me that these days, like, I end up not, wanting to like do one because like I kind of get too tired. I really don't feel like doing that shit again, like for a day. So yeah. Now this shit, I'll start with this. When it comes to this incident, I'll admit, this is stupid. It was stupid on my part. I was stupid here. But listen, alright, this is how it went down. I can't believe this even happened. Again, this is how it went down. So I was putting So like all we were trying to do was getting these like water bottles to like the other side for PD2, which is like another set of there's like another set of like belts. Like they have their own trailers too on the other side, and like it only just took me like a minute to like get over there. What happened here? Good lord, man. So I wasn't okay. Then also no one saw me do any of this, so all by myself on this one. So what I was trying to do was use this cart, right, to like get these like water bottles over. I think it was like 24 water bottles I was trying to just put on the other side. What happened here was this. Get this. So the cart itself, I think it moved fine for like a good while, right? But when I was trying to get through this like narrow area, now I need to like take this area apparently because y'all get the bigger picture once I tell you about everything. What happened? Okay, again, what happened was that first of all, the freaking the motherfucking I let the card. It was able to move fine at first. I could have been sure. It was like I was trying to get through like this area like I told you about with the chute and like the table. Now like there's a really good space between that and the belt itself, right? Now I could have actually gotten it through there if it wasn't for the ladder in the middle of that. It was slightly in the middle of like this like space here, so it was pretty inconvenient that this happened to me like this. So I was like, all right. When it comes to like the area behind this like chute, I can take that. But the only thing is that it has beams, and the beams were set up in a way to where to make a narrow area, just enough area for me to squeeze this cart into, or like this like cart through. Again, like let's do it on my part here. What happened was I was pulling it because like I can only get like a good inch or two off of just pulling it. So yeah. Oh my god, man. So like pushing it wasn't working. Like it was it was very much like a defective cart. As y'all are hearing it, yeah, like y'all can tell. So what this became was okay. So I was pulling it through, right? However, I get to the actual beam path I was telling y'all about, and I was trying to use as much force as I can to like get just some motion going, so I had to get it through this area. But okay, so like my hand, so like I was actually pulling it from my under too, which was a bad idea. I was trying to pull this thing from my under because like I felt like I was getting like the most results this way apparently. Now I wasn't aware of my finger placement, cause get this. Apparently, the way my fingers were positioned, they were specific enough to where my finger was between the card itself. Again, the card is like full metal, no plastic. So it's like hard shit, right? And the metal and like the metal support beam behind my finger, that's metal too. So what happened was that it got some motion going. Yeah, but like this action had to be going no more than like 50 miles like an hour or something, because when it moved like this, my hand got, not my hand, but my thumb got sandwiched between the metal support beam, and the car itself, and that fucked up my finger. Fucked up as in, I thought it got dislocated. But no, it didn't get dislocated. Went to a supervisor for it, and they got me like a bunch of ice, because like I was out of it. I was still trying, but but I think one of the supervisors caught me, and it was like, oh shit, what happened to you, man? So like they took me to the office, and like they got me like a ton of like ice. Now, I didn't cry about it or anything. That was more when I was getting home on this one. Because, I was just out for the day. Like, I really couldn't do much either. So, what happened here was, like, I thought it got dislocated. Then they were telling me about this medical plan they were getting together for me, and to see a doctor to see what really happened. And they had to give me like some meds for this, because apparently when I went to the doctor too, guess what he told me? My thumb broke. It actually snapped in half on me from just doing that. And yeah, it really hurt, but what got me was that I had to tell my parents about this, my girlfriend about this, and getting to the car from the work area, sucked massive dick. Like, listen, I couldn't do much. Like, walking hurt. Carrying anything hurt. Taking my belt off so they can get me through the scanning area hurt like hell. Any movement, like it was some like traumatic pain I was going through. So I had to like walk as slow as possible, so I don't have the pain just shooting like through my hand, or like my thumb area, like just like all the time. And the driving hurt like hell too. And then like even sleeping, I was even having trouble sleeping, because if I land on the bed, like even like slightly off, like I get like a lot of pains again. So like, okay, like the cliff notes of this is that like I was able to make a full recovery after like 8 months, around there. Like say more like 6 or 7 months. So it took me like a long time. Oh, and then like what really sucked too was that I couldn't play nearly as many games as I wanted to for all that time. So I had like this whole like broken thumb thing sucked massive dick to the nth degree. It was like I'm not fucking joking. Oh my god, man. Now like I blame myself to a certain extent, because like I could have like gotten help for this. So I know what to do next time when it comes to this. This like little thing here. But okay. So like when that happened, I think I had like a good week off or something. Cause I don't want to say I came in like the next day for this. But all right. And then like the medical plan, like I'll talk about that in a video. But all right, like basically the medical plan worked in my favor, basically. So like while my finger was recovering, they put me in the small sword area where I was just like a bagger. Like I was the bag person. Like I had to come in with the splint and like the wrapped up splint on my finger and like everything. So basically, I had to okay, so like small sword, they deal with like a lot of like small packages first of all, and they use like a lot of bags, right? So I was the guy that was just applying like a shit ton of like bags for him. I was using like this little cart. I had to put the bags into this cart and pretty much like stack up all these bags behind them on the shelf. You know, like that was all I was doing for like a long time. I think I was doing that for like 2 or 3 months, something like that. Where over time I was getting more and more comfortable with doing that. I guess what helped too was that it was like the winter time, the cold kind of helped with the recovery. Cause yeah, that was like last December. Yeah, it was last December, so like 2019. So yeah. Which that one, just a few problems here. I basically had to like throw like all the bags up by one hand. That's usually dealing with like hundreds of these bags at a time. Or like hundreds of bags for the day. So we got 4 areas where we can have like a lot of bags at. Yeah. Well, like kind of 5, but okay, I'll explain on like the 5th area later. But all right. Like again, as y'all can hear, like there's like a lot to this like whole thing when it comes to working at like UPS. But try best to like follow me here. Okay, like I won't be surprised if we reach like 2 hours here. Like when it comes to like these like bags though, I have like a few spots here. I can either get them all this like slide for like the debag area, which those guys like I get like when my finger was like fully healed or like for the most part healed, I was working up yeah, I was working up there because like those guys they tend to have like a lot of bags, but if they don't, I actually had to like walk all the way up to this like back area next to the DMP place, which is behind all the trailers in the unload area. So like that's about 4 minutes away or so, which is which is behind like the 15th trailer for that area as well. That's a big vertical path I'm like covering there. Going around beams as well. Still, like this place lives in fucking beams. And then but sometimes though I'll probably get a few dozen bags, which we definitely need a lot more than that. And then sometimes too, like I had to get bags from these like other bagger areas. It's actually rarely been like a time where I could just stand around and like not do anything. When it comes like the debug area too, like actually has like 2 other spots. I'm just not remembering this. Sorry, where there's like there's like under the belt after they're done with emptying out a bag, where bags can just go under there, like be slid out. there's the left side, and then there's like the right side. Where bags, where anti-out bags can like pretty much be at. Okay, so like as far as like being like a bagger, that's what that's like. Like a lot of like searching basically. With that shit. Alright, and then sometimes too, like I have a kind of a hard time finding where I kind of have like a hard time getting like more small cards to use. And then like the other thing too is that I need like loaded cards. It's just that just putting them all in like on my own like that. For like small swords, like I noticed too that they I noticed too that they tend to have like a lot of females over there. So like it's like I get to like notice like just like how like these females dress. Like sometimes they'll just come in with their pajamas. Like they don't even look. They like they don't even seem like they're like serious about working that like that much. If I'm being honest. And then sometimes like I'll see them having freaking booty shorts on, and it's like, come on, guys, like, where's the dress code at? Like, we need to do something about that, actually. So, say 3 months of like doing like bagger stuff, they decided to put me on the debag area, which was like the last thing I did up until I was out there the first time, right? And then debag, like we just it's a similar deal to like unload. If we have irregs, just push them to the side so we can get them later. I think I should use like the left side of like debag to take care of like irregs, because like it gets pretty hectic, and like if I actually have like empty bags and like they slide down. Okay, and then like the irregs slide down on like the empty bags. Like I know this stuff sounds mad fucking boring, but this is what it's like to work at UPS. There's like a whole lot of shit you do deal with on a daily basis here. But all right. Basically, I have a side for irreg and a side for like empty bags, and like I just try to keep it like that. And then like I can kind of get away with putting them. No. I'll let you know. Fuck that. I put irregs below, like under the belt, so they actually go to this like lower compartment or whatever. Well, like not compartment, but like this area or like this like ramp that goes to like this like platform like below, and like they pretty much actually take care of irregs like that. Now sometimes it can be loaded with either nothing but empty bags or irregs. So that's when I had to use like either the slides or my own shelf. But I usually use my shelf for just for empty bags. Because like from there, what I can possibly do is drop the empty bags off my shelf. I'm onto like a set of cards. Like we just call them something else, but I can't remember what they're called right now. Like Wednesdays and Fridays, sometimes Saturdays are like the hardest days, where even with all that shelf space, like I just run out of room. And then like what's worse too was that with the amount of like width the belt has, like it can end up just being not like enough. Like to where basketball just spill over to the side, and it's even worse if I'm just like the only guy over there. And then sometimes too, I have to. Okay, like if it's a really busy day, like a bit above average, like it takes like a lot of like fixing and sorting, where like it gets messy on my shelf, where freaking empty bags are practically everywhere, bad packages are like freaking everywhere on the shelf. So like that takes me literally all day to like go through. If like we just get like a whole lot of like packages coming in on the belt like that. And then they hate it too if I stop the belt for any reason. Like whenever I stop the belt for like no more than like freaking 2 minutes or like a full minute. Like they always come up and be like, hey man, what happened? What's wrong? Like why'd the belt stop? It's like, well, I don't know. Like it would really help if there was like 2 or 3 people up here. Not a one like by myself. It would help too if I can actually accelerate or like decelerate the speed of the belt, because like I'm sure like friggin' even with this fixed speed, if we get like a whole lot of like packages come in, like there's not that much I can do. Like they expect me to be like fucking Sonic or some shit. I'm not fucking Sonic, y'all. I fucking wish. And and then like what can happen too was let the bag packages like the zipper for it that can actually just snap off, or like they just don't have like a zipper, which is also kind of bullshit to deal with. And then usually like if a bag is just torn all the fuck open, like it's like ripped up or like some shit, we just throw them like away a lot of the time. Like they told me before to like have it in like a tote so they can ship it off somewhere or some shit. But yeah, like most of the time we just throw them away. There's only like a few fiascos I've had with like supervisors. Yeah, like I'd say like what would really help is that we have at least two guys like up there in the ton debag area, and then two guys on like the bottom floor to deal with everything else. It's very much like a 4-man job for this sort of shit, so things can actually run smoothly. Because man, like it gets busy as hell for me really fast if I'm literally just the only guy there, putting stuff under the belt, on the side or on the left side, and then putting fucking irregs on like the big orange cards. A lot of times too, I had to actually set up orange cards to put them in the front. Like I'll have like up to like 2 of like these like orange cards already set up beforehand, so like that can help me in the future down the line like that. My total time of like working at like UPS at first was like a year and like 6 months or some shit like that. It was like the longest time I've actually worked at a job. I had to. Okay, so like I forgot what the context was, but at some point I think I decided, either I decided or like they decided for me to. No. Okay, I remember now. There's one time when I actually couldn't come in on time. Cause like I was letting them know that, hey, like I can't make it for the day. Like there was some like odd changes going on like around this like time too. Just all of a sudden, now I can't make it in on time because I was up in Florida. Now I live in Texas, but I was in Florida to spend time with my girlfriend. And yeah, I had a certain situation to where I couldn't make it back on time, and that was kind of problematic for for the supervisors and manager. So they decided to put me for I think it was day sort. I believe it was day sort. Yeah. So I had to come in like much earlier than usual. Now like a lot of it was like the same deal. I think they actually had me work with a guy like more often. But the only thing about it was that we had like a lot of these like small ass packages. Like there were like these like pearl packages that kept coming in, and it was flooding the friggin' belt to hell, like kind of quickly. And it's like that's really problematic to like deal with. Just doing that back to back. Like I know like coming into like UPS like USP, like expected to deal with like a whole lot of packages, but yeah, the stuff gets really taxing, right? So, like that was like the real thing there. Like I'm telling y'all, it was like an atrocious amount though. I saw like the friggin' pallets like friggin' like where it had like just hundreds of these things just prepared, but like on the side beforehand while I was just coming in. And it was like, dude, like, just what's the shit for? Anyway, so it comes to dealing with those. I think okay, I didn't have totes or anything. Like, I kind of like redundant. Oh, like that was like another thing too, like totes. So like sometimes, like totes will actually come in on the belt, and they'll either be like empty or like whatever's in the tote, I just empty onto the belt. Um, it can kind of cause problems. A good amount of the time, especially running out of like room uh for like emptied out for like empty bags. Shit. So like I guess my rule of thumb for it was like if it's like totes that are like I end up stacking like 6 4, might as well just like put it down. Like if things are like slow, just do 3. Again, like I can't. I know it's still like a whole lot to explain, but like there's a whole lot of game plans I just developed while I was working there. Like for the most part, I was pretty much working like every I guess like labor job when it comes to working in this building. And then like people some people get surprised like, hey man, why don't you be a manager? Like manager is not really for me, and it's like I have a bit of a hard time speaking. So I feel like they would have like a more reliable person if it's just like some normal guy basically. Like I saw this one guy too that was working with us for just like a few weeks, or like like just for a few weeks, and then they were turning him to be like a supervisor. And so like I guess being a supervisor is just easy as that. Like if you really want it, like you can have it. And then like the supervisors, like they're usually really active, and like they usually are pretty fit too. So they can be helpful when in like any situation, basically. Oh, and then like there was actually this one time where I actually forgot my keys. But thankfully, one of the supervisors were actually it would give me like a hookup. And like called in like a basically he had tools that had him to like let me open my door. There were a few times where we just had like a ton of like bags in the area just when I'm coming in. And then like we're just sitting there wondering like, okay, how are we gonna actually handle all these bags? Again, like I'm sorry if it sounds really boring trying to wrap some of the stuff up, but okay. This is just for the first time I was working there. Now, like when it comes to like a situation like that, remember we had to use the orange cards. To where not even one was like enough. We ended up having to have to like use like I think up to like I want to say like 6. No, probably just 5 or some shit. So like it was saying it was like a long time to load all them like empty bags up. Like oh my god. So like when it comes to like being in the debag area, just fucking anything can fucking happen. I'm sure. Like they'll just throw like a whole lot of these situations that at you, and like you had to know what to fucking do. So like I could have been like maybe a debag guy to this day if it wasn't for me trying to also work at Amazon, which is its own video. But basically what happened there was that I was actually working at Amazon. Okay, so like the UPS guys really this like one supervisor got pretty pissed at me when he heard about me trying to work at Amazon, which I can understand that they're a competitor, but basically it boiled down to me working at UPS and Amazon at the same time. I was actually able to do that for a good month. I earned like good extra cash, yeah. It was good extra cash. Then I was deciding, okay, then it was like, okay, I could actually just work at Amazon for like a while, right? So after like a good month, I decided to just work at Amazon. Because like it was looking good on paper. I'll go into it more when I get to the Amazon video. They were trying to tell me that you can come in at this time, and you can kind of like come in at like any day that you want to. Which there's a few strings attached there, but again, I'll get into it when I talk about the Amazon stuff. Basically, everything was looking better on paper opposed to UPS. So, with those matters in mind, I felt as if I could quit UPS to just work at Amazon. I did that, and I put in my 2-week notice, and so like I ended up working at Amazon for a while. Now, I believe I worked there for how long now? Because I quit in September. So like I was working there for like six months. Like so it was like September. Yeah, something like September up to like April. So I was like like about 6 months there. And basically, again, I'll cover it in the Amazon video, but basically, stuff with Amazon was going down south real fast. I was really not liking how things were at like Amazon, and like I lost my job there. After coming from Florida again, but I spent like a whole month in Florida. Again, I'll talk about it in like another video. Anyways, like because of that, Amazon dropped me. And when it comes to trying to come back to UPS, I actually had to like apply twice. Cause like some silly shit happened on like the first time, and then I kind of told y'all about like it's like second time. So like I can go into like what's been happening recently when it comes to like working at UPS now. So this time around, like I was saying earlier, a lot more irregs I'm like dealing with here, a lot more. And like at first too, and then like what's weird is that the schedule for like the times I actually come in are they aren't what you figure they be from what they told you on the site. Like it's like different for like almost each day. Where like for like today I tried to come in at like 5. I think tomorrow I had to come in at like 5:15. Then Thursday and Friday I'd like come in at 5:30. So like it's a bit different times there. And then Monday I think it's 4:30. So again different times each day. Oh yeah, like another problem I have too is so we've been doing like a good enough job for like a good while. They feel as if they could get us like some like food, right? Now the food is poor to say the least. Like it's straight up just a hot dog. Like like if it was gonna be like a hot dog, I expect like 2 or 3. I'm just saying, especially coming home, hungry as hell. And then like sometimes they'll do a quote unquote cookout in like this like other area outside the building, and it's straight up just you getting chips. I think it was still like a hot dog. No, I think it was even worse. Like it was just some pasta, not in spaghetti, but just some like pasta with barely any sauce or like seasoning on it. And it's like, wow, y'all, really though? Like this is it? Well, I know y'all supervisors get paid way more than they're way more like enough for y'all to end up just giving us like pasta and shit. Like what the fuck? I don't think they even gave us like pizza. I think it was rarely, but yeah, like dude, like this was like a cookout. Where are the steaks? The fuck? And then like if they do get us pizza, like or I wish it was like Russo's. Like I mean, I have Russo's story because Russo's. I'm not joking. Russo's like the best pizza place ever. If they could, if they could get some of that, I'd be a lot more grateful about this. Because man, like what they be giving us is like, it's like cafeteria tier. But I don't even say like cafeteria food is better than this shit. Because man, bare minimum, half the shit I get to my dogs anyway. But all right. Anyways, like more about this time to try to like wrap it up. All right. Again, a few bullshit things. Like, okay, like let me tell you about this situation. One time when I was emptying out a trailer with this one girl, all of a sudden shit's moving, and we only had a moment to be like, wait, what's going on here? Kind of find out, the whole trailer was moving. It was being driven by this dumbass nigga. I was like, whoa, what the fuck, man? Like, we started getting kidnapped. So like once I was slamming like the freaking wall of the trailer, only then it was stopping. Because apparently this dumbass nigga didn't know there's still people unloading in the area. And it's like you could have saw that much earlier, because like the freaking bell was already extended all the fuck out, dude. This nigga was being slow on us, like slow as hell. And like I was thinking about jumping out, but we were already pretty far off the ground, like away from the building and shit. So like we had to straight up like fucking wait there until like the freaking supervisor told us like, okay, like step out and like go through like this exit here till I get back in the building. And I was like, wow, like dude, like this never fucking happened to me. Oh, that shit was embarrassing. Like that guy's lucky. Like if he isn't fired for just that. But another thing that's never happened to me before was like the other week, like like a guy told me that like a box exploded or some shit. Like my work area, like pretty much like half the building was just down. Like half the building just had no power. So like I ended up just like sitting there for like a good hours or so before I can even do anything. And then and that's like the whole day, like I could barely do anything because like even when the power came on, which was at like 7 or something, and like I remember I came in at like 5 or some shit. Fucking the bell was adding up or something. Or like they were still trying to get their shit together. Either way, like I can only like for that day I was only able to like clear out like 2 trailers. No, like only one trailer because like the second one, I was stuck on the second one because like the belt was down for like so long. Like I remember it was like fucking 30 minutes straight of just waiting when I could actually work on. Did I have the belt go again? And like on that day, I exited what? I came out of it. What was it? Like they actually had me go home at like 10 or some shit. One day they said, "Hey, you can go home if you want." I had a supervisor that and it was like, "Well, we're gonna keep going for as long as it wants to." In other words, like that was like another 40 fucking something minutes. So I was like, "Fuck, dude, taking forever." So we ended up not getting much done there. Then like, there was this other time too where like my current supervisor like he told me that I could come in for like this other day. Okay, well, pretty much for like day sort. I think it was like on Monday, cause like yeah, cause like that Monday we were actually free that Monday for like our sort. But said I could come in for a day sort for that day. Okay, I come in for it, right? And it's like they had me sign on this like small ass form. I really hate that. And like they were having like a bit of an issue with when about what my time was for the day. Now for the most part, it was normal. The thing though was that they actually had us sometimes like for some of these art trailers deal with these like contained piles of like packages, and they're in these like because problem too when one too like the freaking belt stops for like a long time. Like that's one thing I definitely hate when like a belt stops for like a long time, but you still have like a long way to fucking go. So aside from that, like a lot of it was pretty normal. And then you get like the fucking end. Yeah, like still the bell was stopping for like a long ass time. Like I don't know what the fuck was going on. And I remember too, like it was okay. Not only was it loaded, but it was also like one of them like really long trailers. You know what these motherfuckers said to me? They said, "Hey, we only have like 5 minutes left, or like 10 minutes left." And it's like this shit is okay. At first I was like, okay, it's like the last trailer, and these like boxes maybe look big, but they're actually pretty light. That like they're each are like 15 pounds or some shit. I get through those, and then I see like more and more of them. Well, and more of like the normal packages, and then like the length of the trailer. And what's fucked up is that not only was I realizing, oh shit, it's gonna take us way more than an hour, but I get the load stand and I try to look above the freaking piles of like boxes, the walls of like all these boxes, and I couldn't even see the end of the trailer. That's a really bad sign. So it was gonna take us like a fucking eternity to even get through this fucking trailer. Tell them 10 or 5 minutes. Like, motherfucker, look at this shit. And then like, so what happened here was we end up loading up the belt full of these with like all of these packages and shit. Even though the freaking belt stopped on us, like we try to use as much space as possible. Then the freaking last few minutes, they were like, push everything off the belt. It's like, dude, why the fuck did you make us do that? why the fuck did you even bother with this trailer anyway? Then the fuck? I'll push it to the side. The fuck is that shit, dude? So like, we, of course, as anyone would figure, we couldn't even get through the rest of that trailer there. So like, just be aware of like shit like that. What that fucking happens. God dang, man. So let me just give you two more situations here, and I'll just call it like a video. I'm afraid kind of like running out of like a battery anyway. So like the hardest like trailers for me, strip has to be these like, I can't figure out what the fuck this was, but okay. We get these like trailers that have like, that are just stacked with a fuck ton of these like, it's like 4-pound boxes. Now like, these are apparently firecracker boxes, but friggin' first wall, like, you're easily looking at like 40 of these things, and like, they're really weird to like pick up. Cause like at the ends, for some reason, like they're like foldable or like stretchy or whatever. What, like, stretchy is like the right word. Basically, like you can easily have like a bad grip on these, like normal fucking boxes. So after dealing with all of those, which is like a good 10 minutes there or some shit, behind those is like the worst part of this trailer. Okay, first of all, they're on pallets. They're wrapped up right. So after cutting through all that shit, the packages themselves, you're usually looking at a good 50 or so here. But each of the packages, for some fucking reason, are between 30 to 50 pounds. And they feel like you're lifting up fucking rocks. So I was like, yo man, for the longest time, I couldn't figure out what the fuck was in these. But apparently, it was nothing but bolts and screws. And I remember the first time I was working at UPS, like one of the ones I was having like the most trouble with were bolts and screw packages, because I don't know why these tend to be like the heaviest. So like, think of that, right? But like times 4 for these sort of trailers. Like, it's so bad to the point where even the other employees are like bitching about them, like they really don't want to fucking do them. Which I can see why. Even I don't really want to fucking do them. If I could skip out on them, I would. And then behind those two, like, you get like a lot of like regular boxes. Then you get like these like wire. These are wrapped up wires, basically. Not really like wrapped up wires, but basically they're wrapped up like the same way that that like threads of like wool like wrapped up around this like wooden thing. Now these could be up to either 100 pounds or the biggest one 150 pounds. Where it's like fuck. Like why is it like this? And it's like massive too. It's like I like the width of this like wheel thing is like as big as like two people, and like the edges are like really thick. So and then it's like wooden too that the wire is like wrapped around. So like it's pretty problematic there. To say the fucking least. I need like a big ass nigga to even put it on the freaking E-reg belt. It was that big. God, man. Like, we'll probably have like 2 trailers that are like that each day. It's like why? Why? Just tell me why. And like, even like the supervisor knows how problematic they are, because he doesn't want to do them. He avoids them shits like the fucking plague. Okay, I'll explain this in like a little. But alright, we had this one trailer where it was like, okay, for some reason, fucking, they had like these like wrapped up long ass packages, and like they're wrapped up by or like strung together by this really thick belt looking plastic. It's totally not really plastic, but anyways, just roll with it. And like I say thick because when I try to use the box cutter on it, I sound like a hard ass time just cutting through it with that. And then later on, with like when we're getting basically more of those, fucking get this. The box cutter actually broke on me when I was trying to fucking cut this open. Or like cut through this. So like when I told like my supervisor about it, he was like, okay, we're gonna come back to it later. Kind of find out, like that was like my second trailer. So like when I come back, so like at the end of the day for this one, I'm trying to wrap this up. They put me back on this at the end of the day, and I'm like, wait, we're still not fucking done with this? And then what's fucked up too is that, like, it had like a lot of these like really long cylinder light packages in them. Like they're like really long friggin' wallpaper or like posters or some shit. I don't know what the fuck's in these. Yeah, we had to deal with like a lot of those in this trailer too. Like they just gave us like they just threw everything at us for this trailer. And like what made it worse is that like each of these packages were like fucking 50 pounds too. And like they're really long as hell. So it was like, what the fuck, dude? Why? And then it's like they could have like cut these for us beforehand, so we don't waste that much more fucking time on them. Well, what's fucked up too was that I couldn't even finish. I was getting sweaty as hell too. You know, trying my best to like put everything on the belt like this. God, man. Like once we got to like the last wall, like freaking supervisor came in and was like, "Hey man, just go home." Like even he knew just how stupid this was getting. No, there was this other time too. Okay, real quick, where we had like a lot of these like fucking sofas, like it was straight up sofas for like packages here, and like we had to put all them shits on the E-reg belt. For some reason, there were like fucking over 100 of these or some shit. Cause it was taking us like a long time to fucking empty this trailer out. Like we ended up having like fucking 4 of like 6 guys, me included, to help out with this trailer. It was even back to the point where like the freaking supervisor was giving us like a 5-minute break. because like he knew we were getting tired, and like the era bill needed to like catch up too. So yeah. Anyway, so all in all, just wrap this up. A lot of bullshit. A lot of very specific bullshit you'll have to deal with and like think through when it comes to working at like UPS, which you'll really likely, be faced with. And like could have quit like a while ago if only I can have like another job, but like this job, like they're really clamoring for people to like work with and for them. The pay is consistent, but man, like there's a whole lot of shit you have to deal with when it comes to working at UPS. And then like I don't have much problem with people, but I can't remember any situations right now, so I might as well not even mention it. So yeah, like if you decide to work at UPS, like you have to be really down bad. So like that's what that's what that is. Be and then be really careful because like with like all these like sharp edges, fucking everywhere, like the support beams being everywhere. It seems like they. It kind of feels like at the same time they kind of want to get rid of people that aren't careful. I don't fucking know. All that's my hot take. It's hot take central on it here. We'll talk about the other jobs later. And yeah, I'm out.